Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Well folks, St. Patrick's Day is approaching, so today, let's talk about something that I blogged back in 2015. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014. Now, if you may recall, I did say that I had mixed feelings for it. I mean, yes, the fight scenes were badass, and several things weren't that bad. But the story was kind of cliched. A few characters, like April, played by Megan Fox, being miscasted. And of course, the motion capture models on the Turtles looking kind of gross. And even though I haven't seen its sequel, Out of the Shadows, yet, I don't plan on blogging it at all, because I'm afraid it might give me a bigger headache than I had before. So, today, I want to blog a good adaptation of these 4 heroes and a half shell. But the question is this: does it still hold up these days? Well, let's find out. Released on March 23rd, 2007, the movie is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or TMNT for short. Now, let's get started. After the defeat of their old arch-nemesis, the Shredder, the Turtles have grown apart as a family. Meanwhile, strange things are happening in New York City. Tech industrialist tycoon Max Winters revives 4 ancient stone warriors and enlists the help of the Foot Clan to help capture ancient monsters who threaten to take over the world. And the Turtles must unite again to save it. So, what are my thoughts? Well, bash me if you want, because this movie is hardcore and awesome. But in order to explain why I love this movie, let's move on to Mustang notes. Okay. A CGI TMNT movie was first announced in 2000, with John Woo at the helm. That movie languished in development hell, and Woo ultimately moved on to other projects. Writer and director Kevin Monroe said that he wanted to do a total CGI instead of live action, and CGI Turtles because it would be easier for the audience to suspend disbelief for such an offbeat story, as there would be no break in the reality between CGI and live action. Producer Tom Gray explained that the decision to depart from the live action series was due to escalating budgets for the 3 films, and with each film making less than its predecessor, a CGI film became a reality. Monroe stated, in terms of the storyline, that ideas were floated as extreme as the Turtles being in space, but eventually it just came back to New York City, and the theme of the family that had fallen apart. When developing the screenplay, Monroe wanted to take on a less lighthearted tone, or less cowabunga, and place an emphasis on dark elements as shown in the original comics to appeal to the mature audience. Development and pre-production for TMNT began in June 2005 at Imagee's Los Angeles facility, and the CGI animation was produced in Hong Kong. Didn't realize this movie was Chinese animated. But anyway, followed by post-production in Hollywood. In designing the New York City backdrop, art director / concept artist Simon Merton stylized the familiar Manhattan skyline and urban landscapes. The animators that worked on the fight sequences were inspired by Hong Kong action films. Animation director Kim Uy, I think that's how it's pronounced, explains that, that because of the CGI, they were able to push and stylize beyond the limits of live action. Now, as for the animation, I think Imagee did great for this movie. They made the scenes in New York at night look very dark and mysterious. Plus, the fight sequences were really badass. As for the story, well, in my opinion, this film's story does improve on the relationship of brothers. Also, there are some scenes that are really humorous, like when Casey accidentally breaks a vase at the Winter's Tower, which activates the lockdown. Plus, the monsters that appear in this movie have really creative designs. For example, there is a Bigfoot-style beast, a tiny monster with a scorpion tail, and much, much more. Anyway, let's talk about the characters and their voice actors. Now, let's start with Leonardo, voiced by James Arnold Taylor. Best known as Tidus from Final Fantasy X. He also voiced in Food Fight, as well as Atlantis 2, Kingdom Hearts 2, and the recent Ratchet & Clank movie. In the beginning of the movie, Leo has been on a long vacation, training in Central America, in order to become a better leader. Later, after coming back to New York, he hopes to put his brothers in shape, but it gets difficult with Raph's stubbornness. Speaking of which, let's move on to Raphael, voiced by Nolan North, who got to voice a few silly birds in the SpongeBob sequel. In this movie, Raph mostly sleeps during the daytime, but at night, he becomes a masked vigilante known as the Night Watcher. Also, mostly Raph can be a stubborn jerk, but he's still a strong turtle, and he's also clever when it comes to using smoke pellets. Donatello is voiced by Mitchell Whitfield. While Leo was away, Donnie has been working online as an IT tech support. Michelangelo is voiced by Mikey Kelly. Mikey has taken to performing at children's birthday parties as Cowabunga Carl in order to make ends meet to support his family. I'm also glad that Mikey still has a lively demeanor and good-natured jokes. Plus, his skateboarding moves are really cool. Next is the Turtles' father and teacher, Master Splinter, voiced by Mako Iwamatsu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Splinter sent Leo on a long journey to improve his skills. After his return, Splinter forbids the Turtles from fighting until they can act as a team again. Next up is the Turtles' friend, April O'Neil, voiced by Sarah Michelle Gellar. Best known as Daphne from the first two live-action Scooby-Doo movies, and as Ella from Happily Never After. In the beginning of the movie, she finds Leo in Central America while she was seeking an artifact from Max Winters. It is implied that she has taken up archaeology as a career. She has also taken up martial arts training and purchased a yellow bodysuit from Japan, and became skilled in the use of a katana. Next we have April's boyfriend, Casey Jones, voiced by Captain America himself, Chris Evans. Casey works for April's shipping company as a delivery man, spending his nights continuing his vigilante activities. Through this, he meets Raphael as the Night Watcher and became his sidekick. I find it kind of cool that Casey fights with bats and hockey sticks. Next we have Max Winters, voiced by Patrick Stewart. Best known from The Pagemaster, The Prince of Egypt, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, Bambi 2, Chicken Little, Romeo and Juliet, and Legends of Oz. And, I need to warn you viewers that he's going to be in the upcoming Emoji Movie as this. God, how can they do this to him? Anyway, Winters may seem like a villain at first, but in truth, he was an ancient warrior named Yaddle, who centuries ago, found a portal to another dimension, and when it opened, he received eternal life, but it also turned his 4 generals to stone, and 13 monsters were released. And as the years passed, Yaddle realized that immortality is a curse, and he vows to get all the monsters back into the portal so his curse can be lifted. We also have Karai, voiced by Zhang Ziyi. She is the Japanese Foot Clan boss, and has come to take over the New York Foot Clan after the Shredder's death. Acting as mercenaries, she was hired by the mysterious billionaire Max Winters to be the eyes and ears of the city, though she showed anger later when she found the truth of his unexpected order to hunt down monsters. Nearing the end of the movie, she helps April and Casey find and lure the last monster back to the tower. Finally, we come to our main villains, Yaddle's Stone Generals, led by General Aguila, voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson. Best known from Lilo and Stitch, The Country Bears, The Little Mermaid Ariel's Beginning, and of course, the Wild Thornberrys movie. After Winters found them, with April and Casey's help, he used a medallion to bring them to life in order to capture the monsters. However, Aguila started to suspect that their brother was going to get rid of them to keep the immortality for himself, not realizing that once the monsters are sent back, Winter's immortality would be lifted as well. They thought they should keep their immortality and continue their conquest to take over the world. Now, I gotta say, these guys are the strongest enemies the Turtles face yet. They are excellent in battle. During the hunt for the 13 monsters, they take the said monsters down really fast and easy by themselves, while the Foot Clan takes the beating for them. Plus, all their eyes are glowing red, as well as glowing red lines around their armor, which also reminds me of the possessed Aeons from Final Fantasy X-2. And now it's time to move on to my final words. Overall, TMNT is an incredibly awesome movie. It has great animation, funny humor, badass action, an epic story, wonderful characters, and a good message about brotherhood. I highly recommend this movie to everybody who either like animated action films or fans of the Turtles. I give this film... oh, heck with it. I give it a 100% rating. Well, that's all for today, viewers. Be sure to join me again for my next blog, where I'll be going to an enchanted castle. But I'm gonna need some backup for this next one. Mustang power. Oh, and have a great St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell, turtle power. They're the world's most fearsome fighting team.
We're really hip.
They're heroes in the half shell, and they're green.
Hey, get a grip.
When the evil Shredder attacks, these turtle boys don't cut 'em no slack. Teenage Mutant Ninja
mean? That's a fact, Jack.
Raphael is cool but rude.
Give me a break.
Michelangelo is a party dude.
Buddy!
Teenage Mutant